How I loves? Welcome back to the Starscartel channel. If you don't know, I'm Star. So the message coming to form a song, and the song I heard is Motown Philly by Boys to Men. And the interesting thing is, the part that God is leading me to say is a part. Honestly, typically with a song, I wouldn't even like mention it, but it's the beginning, and it's like they get all crunk to record, and the producers say it don't matter, just don't curse, and then they, you know what I'm saying, get ready, you know what I'm saying, Boys to Men, a, Motown Philly back again, a. Doing a little East Coast swing. Boys to men going on. A not too hard, not too strong. Philly is swinging. Boys to men, ABC, BBD. The East Coast man. Okay, the scripture comes from Job 33:4. The Spirit of God has made me, and the breath of the mighty quickens me. If you are able, answer me. Set an array before me. Station yourself. Behold, I am, according to your word, for God. I have also been formed from the clay. Behold, my terror does not frighten you, and my burden on you is not heavy. Surely you have spoken in my ears, and the sounds of words I hear. I am pure without transgression. I am innocent, and I have no iniquity. Behold, he develops hindrances against me. He reckons me for an enemy to him. He puts my feet in the stocks. He watches all my paths. So here's the message. For whoever this is for, God said he has already. Y'all try to lift my head up a little bit. But we just be led by Papa's birth anyway. Anywho, God said he has already prepared a path for you. Regardless if you see it or not, he prepared the path for you. He has cleared the way. He has cleared the way. He has cleared the way in such a way that, sometimes when God lead us to do something, hold on, let me put this down a little bit. Sometimes when God be leading us to do something, it be a situation where there are people that are trying to say, you can't do that. If you do that, it'll be messed up because X, Y, and Z. If you do that, then this gonna happen, that's gonna happen. We don't like it because of this, we don't like it because of that. God said there is nobody that can fix their mouth to say anything negative about the path that he has cleared for you because of the way that he has cleared this path. And if that makes sense, that would be like, let's say you decide that you're going to go ahead. You've been looking at this new business, this new job opportunity, or this new business opportunity for a while. And you have been feeling nervous about it because you've been at your job for so long and you don't want, your boss to be mad. You don't want your coworkers to be mad. And then, you know what I'm saying, about 2-3 months to, however long before you get ready to go, you notice that your coworker's been acting kind of shysty with you. And I'm just low-key thinking about what happened to me right before I started my makeup line. I was working at this nursing home, and out of nowhere, the boss decided to take my name off the schedule. And it was real messed up because I'm always on time. I leave late. I always make sure my patient's good and all that. And I was so confused as to why she did that. And you know what I'm saying? I was the only person that was working there that had been working there as long as I was. I had been working there for dang near, it was 10 years on and off, to be honest, because that nursing home is legit the place where I had went to, what do you call it when you do the study, like after you get your certificate and you go there and you learn, like you do hands-on. And then I took my test there and everything, but I moved to Dallas. But when I came back from Dallas, I started working there. Baby, give or take 10 years on and off. Okay, I can't stunt. I left a few times. I did, because honestly, me as a CNA, every time a patient that I was close to, baby, they went to glory. I couldn't do it. I can't stunt. I couldn't do it. I left. I will leave. I would, if I be another job, because I couldn't take it. My heart couldn't take it. I would have to give me a break. And anyways, when that happened, and that maybe that's why. I don't know. Maybe that's why. Because, you know what I'm saying, maybe other people can deal with it. And I just could. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? And even thinking about that now, maybe as much as I love nursing, maybe it really wasn't cut out for me like that. But I feel like this is somebody you started to deal with things like your bosses being kind of funny acting. They used to be cool. Y'all used to be cool. Y'all used to, you know, have a joke here and there, and they just started acting funny with you. People that you're working with, even though at that point in time, all the people that I was working there with, they had stopped working there and relocated to, I think they had another location. And then on top of that, they were going, like, they worked at other places too. So they would like quit it and go into other places because they ain't really pay that much. But you know what I'm saying? I feel like I was just used to it, I guess. It's like God had to pry the job out of my hands. I was so used to being there, and I love the patients. And you know what I'm saying? I can't stunt. That's one thing that really kept me good, baby, because I love seeing the patients that I had seen over the years. Like they both, like some of them really have been there since I was there for my internship. That's what it's called. Since I was there for my internship, some of them patients was still there. And, you know, I love visiting with them. And even when they wasn't on my list, I would go in their room. Hey, Mr. Such and Such. Hey, Mr. Such. You need anything? You doing all right? You know, you all right? You know what I'm saying? Sit in there and talk with them. Baby, I love about, that's one thing I loved about her. I love my patients. I had this one patient, even though she wasn't at that one, she was a, well, I ain't gonna say that because I don't think I can. Anyways, I would go in her room and just sit and watch TV with her. And I know you gonna think, Story, you was being like, all right. Because when wasn't nobody in that room, she would be like, help, 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 help. Nobody wanted to go in there. Why? Because she constantly did that because she wanted somebody in the room with her. And as far as I'm concerned, I go by the book, okay? And it is a CNA's job to visit with the patient. Yes, it is. If the patient is like that, and she disturbing the other patients, and they sick and tired of hearing her scream and holler, and what she really wanted somebody sitting in the room with her, and I ain't got nothing else to do, I tell the nurse, hey, I'm in Miss such and such room, so she'll stop screaming. If you need me, come get me. And go in there and sit it with her, and we sit in there and watch movies until they come and get me. I'll be like, look, I'll be right back. Okay, she'll be quiet too until I came back. We be in there chilling. And she really wasn't, it wasn't like something was wrong with her. Wasn't nothing mentally wrong with that lady. She just, like, she was used to being around people, and she had like all her pictures on the wall of things that she was, I think she was in her, like, in her 90s, in her late 90s. Yeah, she was in her late 90s too, and she still had her right behind and everything. And I said, ask her, what was you at right here, and what was you doing over here, and what was you doing, baby? Yeah, she lit, baby, baby. I love that. That's one thing I loved about that job, when patients had pictures of their life and the things that they did, and seeing them, you know what I'm saying, back in the 50s and the 60s, all jazzed up from, be like it was doing something, baby. Be like, this is such and such, baby. They better tread lightly. Anyways, God said for somebody, you at this brink in your life, regardless if it's in life in general. Okay, there we go. Regardless if it's life in general or if it is actually a job, it could be a situation where it is a place. It don't matter, whatever it is, baby. You at this brink where you just like feeling like it's time to move on, but you just haven't moved on. God said that you just experienced him giving you a push, and this push is him forcing it out your hand. He is forcing it out your hand. He is forcing it out your hand, regardless if he is relocating you to a whole different place, regardless if it's a situation where he moving you. It could be a situation where he moving you from one job to another, from one area to another, from one, maybe you being moved to a different, a city, a state. It could be, there is something going on, but it's this push, it's this push, it's this push. God said you don't have any choice at this moment but to let it go. And he's doing that to you because you won't let it go on your own. And because you won't let it go on your own, he's giving you a push. And it's a situation where you're going to have to. And I remember when I had left, I was so sad. I was so heartbroken. And I was like, now what do I do? And God said, you should follow your dreams. You know what I'm saying? Do what you want to do. You could do whatever you want at this point. And I was like, that's true. You know what I'm saying? I ain't have no friends no more. I ain't have no boo thing. I ain't have no bed. I was just at a point where I ain't have my job. I was like, dang, what do I do? Baby, okay, hit that lotto. First of all, I started planning, okay? I planned out. First, I looked up how to create a business. I looked up all the laws and regulations that had to do with cosmetics and aesthetics. And then I moved forward from that. Got my business name, went down to the office, got that, you know what I'm saying, paid my little buddy. That's my day, okay? And you know what I'm saying? Then went and got my little business license. And then I, you know what I'm saying, went and then I got started looking up people, how do you create makeup, the ways to make it. And then I looked up ways like using manufacturers, looking up, like, you know what I'm saying, I just baby steps. But eventually it got to a place where I had my entire business set up. And I even had this book, which I don't have anymore, but it was this huge book where I wrote everything. It was like almost like a giant calendar size, but it was literally a clean notebook. And on each page, I wrote different things like what I wanted to sell, the names that I wanted to use. When I first started my business, I had a list of all the different kinds of cats that, yes, seriously. And I named every single lash, lipstick. What else did I sell at first? I had lashes, lipstick, and I had the eyeshadow palette. I named everything after a different kind of cat. Yep, everything. The eyeshadow palette too. It was called the Holy Sphinx eyeshadow book. The Holy Sphinx eyeshadow book. And the lashes, I had let me see, I had Burmese kitten lashes. What was another one? I'm trying to think of them, y'all. Like it's been a long time ago at this point. And I don't have the book no more. But I think I still got my first website up too, but I'm not gonna tell y'all the name of it. It's not connected to my obviously. It's not connected to my my the website thing anymore. But anyways, that is neither here nor there. But anyways, it's almost like this is somebody, you are at a brink where God said you have no choice but to go ahead and start putting forth the effort to make whatever this decision is that God is pushing you towards. God said go ahead and start it. And it's not a thing where you can rush into this. This is not something that God wants you to just do off the, you know what I'm saying, off a whim. This is something that needs to be planned, and your plan needs to be how do you say, you need to plan it in an effective way that makes sense. Okay, when I, like, even though it seemed like when I went to the desert I didn't plan anything, I was looking into a lot of stuff. I was looking into how to live off grid, obviously. Otherwise I wouldn't have known how to build my truck out like I did. I would have had no idea what I needed. I wouldn't have even thought about getting a power bank. I wouldn't have thought about getting a gas stove. I wouldn't have thought about needing gas for a gas stove. As like crazy as that sounds, I wouldn't have thought about that. I'm serious. I would have got to, I remember me and my cat was at the park and I was cooking me some salmon. I would have tried to click that thing off. I would have tried to click her on and would have been like, what's wrong with it? Would have looked at my cat like, princess, what's going on with the stove? She would have been looking at me like, it's tough. Oh, snap. Anyways, God said this is not something that can be rushed. You know what I'm saying? Even as I think about what my next plans is, because I'm thinking I really don't have no other choice because it's getting so bad in the city that it don't make no sense. Like, this is bad. This is bad. When I can't even record a message that I don't even know if it's even for me without somebody thinking that I'm talking to them, it's bad. I don't even understand how they can hear me unless this man was sitting there, like he had to be standing in position, listening in the day at the day. You know what I'm saying? At the door. It had to be. And even with that, it makes me wonder, how did he even know I was out there? Because once again, how did he hear me out there? I'm not making no noise. I'm literally talking, like whispering into the microphone. I got a microphone here. I'm whispering. How do he hear me? Unless he's standing at the door of the garage and I got a camera right there. Is the wild thing. So this man is looking at the camera and trying to see where the blind spots at, where he can squeeze in and listen. And then, you know what I'm saying? Just the utter foolery. The utter foolery. The utter foolery of it all. But it is what it, because I don't have time. This is ridiculous, bro. It is. It's ridiculous. It's annoying. It's frustrating. And, you know what I'm saying? In reality, I have to take charge. I do. I have to take charge of my own life. And I need to come up with a plan. And I need to go ahead and plan everything out and move forward. And you know what I'm saying? That's the only thing I can do. And I feel like that's the message. God said for whoever this is for, even though you feel like sad, God said at this time you need to be celebrating, because once again, at that moment, I felt so sad because I really didn't want to let go of that job. I didn't want to let go of, you know, even though the coworkers that I had, they weren't there no more. So that wasn't. But the patients, I ain't want to let go of the patients. It really broke my heart to leave. But simultaneously, I ain't have no other choice. God said this is somebody where it may break your heart, but simultaneously, you don't have no other choice. Like, what else is there to do? What more can you do? At this point, you need to go ahead and plan it out. Get everything together. And do your thing. 1717. That's the message. And God said this is a situation where he has already laid out. He the one that cleared the path. As much as that may hurt. But the thing about it is, just like once, like I said, once I left that nursing home and once I started planning and I got my business together and I started taking baby steps, it's like everything just fell into place. Like, once I had the paperwork done and I had found some people that I wanted to work with as far as manufacturers, and I had planned vending, where I wanted to vend that and how I wanted to execute that, and how I wanted my website to look and the names for everything. It's like I had planned how I wanted what eyeshadow palette, how I wanted it to look, the lashes I wanted, everything was planned out. I just out of nowhere hit the lotto and had the money to buy everything. And it came out of nowhere. And that is for somebody. God said all he needs you to do is what you can. And what you can do right now is plan everything. And once you have everything set, he gonna surprise you. And that's the message. Because this is a situation where God has put it in such a way that you have no choice. God himself has put it there. God deemed it so that you have no choice but to move forward. You have no choice but to move on. You have no choice. This is the only option that God, it's like, and it's not to say it's the only option that is for you, but at this point in time, God said this is the best option. And I'm thinking about how God sits high and looks low, and he can see every single option and path that's in front of us. And God said he sees several different paths that you can take. However, this is the best one. And that's what God said. That's the message. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And I feel like this is the best way anyways, because, you know what I'm saying, due to the fact that people keep on trying to break up in here. I think it's best that I take my time and, you know what I'm saying, vlog everything. And, you know what I'm saying, and do it in such a way where It ain't no situation where somebody trying to, you know, snatch me up and take me somewhere and make it seem like I just left. Because obviously, I'm still keeping my channel even if I do move. Obviously, it's not going to be a situation where I'm not recording anymore. Obviously, it's not going to be a situation where I'm no longer a prophet just because I'm moving. Me moving has nothing to do with the fact that God speaks to me and this is my job. We know that because I was prophesying in California. I was prophesying in Nevada. I was prophesying all over Texas. I was prophesying in, where else were we? New Mexico. Where else we? The little bit when I was in Mexico is we. We was just driving through. And you know what I'm saying? The whole trip. Yeah. Anyways, that's the message. Thank you guys for watching. But I guess it is important for me to say that because, baby, the way this is looking, baby, baby, because I don't know why this person, like, these people keep on trying and keep on trying and keep on trying to break in here. And every time, it's just, it's weird. It's weird. It's weird. It's weird. It's weird. It's weird. My suspicions and all that, and me trying to figure out who it is, bro. Because it's only certain angles that somebody can come where they will be in a blind spot to where, you know what I'm saying, and then dip off and be in a blind spot. So I'm just, baby, this is ridiculous. But anyways, that's the message. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Deuces.